Welcome to Forever Exiled. I'm Justin, AK Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days. Hi.
Hi, episode 170 of Forever Exiled. We're back to our normal routine of
which other people would not know that we weren't in our normal routine, but we're back in our normal routine.
Coming out now every week on Sunday, starting now.
Starting
169 episodes ago?
Like,
107?
Yeah, that's better. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Yeah, that's right. We only said Happy New Year in After Dark last week. So last week, hopefully everybody enjoyed the episode with Rishi. That was a ton of fun. And if you haven't heard it, make sure you go back and listen to it because he was a ton of fun. He's a game designer with Grinding Gear Games who makes the game Path of Exile. And we had a ton of fun chatting with him.
Yeah, it was really cool hearing what he had to say. It was an awesome interview.
Happy New Year.
Like, not saying like it was awesome from our part. Like it was awesome having him.
We were
He
awesome.
was great.
So.
Lots of we were. No, he was just
ton of fun.
Very awesome with his information and very funny. And so yeah, no, we had a great time learning about his job and
a lot of great comments,
the
and
ins and outs
messages
of what he does as a game designer.
People who have listened to it, people loved it. So go check it out. Big shout out to some resubs for Patreon this week. If you're not part of our Patreon, make sure you check it out. But thank you to everybody who supports the podcast through our Patreon. Patreon gets you access to After Dark, which is our podcast after the podcast, where it's just more of us, more talking.
Yep.
And
clothing optional.
Yep. You get a card, you get a sticker. You know, if you're not a Patreon, go check it out. You may as well. You may as well. But anyway, After Dark, we do that every week as well. So that's what Patreon gets you access to. And I don't know, maybe there's other stuff, but that's the main thing. Sticker, card, and more us. It's a win all around. What did we talk about? How was your Christmas? All the stuff we talked about. Have we talked about?
I think we might have done like Christmas in After Dark, Christmas, New Year's, and After Dark.
How was all your stuff? How was your Christmas and New Year's?
Well, yeah, because of our interview, we haven't done like a normal catch up for a couple of weeks. We've seen each other in person, which is kind of gross. But no, I don't know. Things have been good. I think we've already like caught up on Christmas and everything, and things have been good. I thought this was going to be the reveal year, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, what do you mean?
The big reveal. Well, let's just say my son sent a lot of letters to Santa this year.
Oh, yeah.
And now with us, with Canada Post, they actually have like a section on Canada Post where it's like, okay, so how do you send letters to Santa? Yep. And they prefer that if you have like 50 letters for Santa, that you just put them all into one big envelope and then send them, and then Santa will reply based on your letters, which is really cool. So anyway, Santa accidentally misspelled our last name.
Oh no.
Coming back, I thought maybe one of them would have brought it up, but nobody did or cared. And then apparently my son, I know, right? They wrote down our name wrong. And then what else happened? Oh yeah. So my son sent a whole bunch of letters in this big envelope, and he was excited, and he didn't want us to know. He didn't care that we knew or not, because, you know, he knows he's going to get something, right? Right. Santa. So anyway, he shows us. And later on, like after, I'm like, so did Santa get you anything that you wanted? And he's like, no. Oh, like they still had a great Christmas. It was like a fine note because he's like satisfied and he's having a great time playing with all of his new stuff. But Santa didn't get him what was on his list specifically. And so I asked him for a couple examples, and I wrote down one of them. A whole bunch of them were like this, though. Yep. So for you Elden Ring players,
oh, great.
He wanted a Morgott, the Fell Omen Stuffy.
Wow, Santa would have had a hard time finding that.
And then he wanted a whole, like, he listed so many Dark Souls and Elden Ring bosses, but he wanted stuffy versions of them, so he was allowed to play with them at bedtime. Because at bedtime, right, we send them to bed around 7:30, sometimes 8, depending on how much we're reading to them, whatever. But their lights have to be out at 8:30, and that time in between from when we send them to bed and then to lights out, they can either play with their stuffies or read books. That's it. That's all they can do. And so he obviously wants everything in stuffy form so he can have it
play with it
in his bed and he can play with it. And so anyway, there was a ton. Like imagine actually seeing a Morgott the Fell Omen stuffy.
That would be awesome.
Or like some of the like dungeon bosses at the end of some of the bosses at the end of dungeons in Elden Ring that are like all creepy and drippy.
One where
and
you can like pull
an
arm off of it and another thing comes out.
That's right. That's exactly like Eeyore. His tail is always detachable. Totally. What's the difference, right? Or if you get like who's the first real boss, the second boss you fight in the castle at the beginning? cuts his arm off. Wouldn't that be cool if it was like a detachable arm, puts on the firearm instead?
Or something. You can just swap
That's right.
the arms.
So anyway,
Get on it,
I'm surprised this wasn't the reveal year for us, considering what I discovered was on the list after the fact.
No.
But anyway, Santa's going to show up next year, I guess.
That's awesome. Santa comes every year. Well, that's good. Yeah, my kids wrote Santa as well. One of the two got a card back. And so
one of the two?
So it just must have gotten lost in the mail. Just must have gotten misplaced.
That must be what happened.
Yep. One of them must have just gotten lost.
Did they spell your name correctly?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't.
Who was the lucky recipient?
Maya got one. Sophia didn't.
Oh, yep. The older one didn't. All right. And
they were fine.
How was Sophia? Yeah,
she was good about it.
She was a blast.
Yeah.
When I saw her, she was so fun. Both your daughters, of course, were just hilarious when they came to answer the door when I came over for New Year's. Oh, they were having such a blast.
It was a ton of fun too. We had some friends over, had lots and lots of drinks, and that was a lot of fun.
Justin
at a bar.
Justin and his wife created their own bar with their own drinks. I mean,
we have a bar, but we created a drink menu of mixed drinks,
and they laminated it and everything. It was like 15 drinks on that thing, and 17. Justin insisted on of course, and making. We had 18, so and then they insisted on making the drinks for us. So they would just, there'd be a whole bunch of laminated stuff. Everybody has one. They just like shove up their hand in the middle of whatever kind of drunk conversation we're having about politics or video games or whatever, and interrupt it. It was the most important thing. Justin, I want this. He's like, okay, coming right up, and he would leave no matter how. They did with the ingredients on there in case you had allergies. And
yep, I put those in there. Although fantastic, people could just go and pour their own drinks too, because some people I think you just had scotch. I don't remember.
I tried bourbon.
Oh, okay,
I had bourbon. Yep. Hoping that they didn't have any wheat in that one, but it was funny. I left at the right time.
That was good. That's a good one.
Yes, it was. It is very good. But I left at the right time. I left 10:30 maybe.
I don't even know what time it was.
Shortly after I left is when the drunk pictures started coming through group chat. So
who was sending drunk pictures? I actually never saw any pictures. I wasn't drunk.
Well,
I wasn't drunk.
You're in them, so definitely check a couple of the group chats.
Maybe it was a group chat I'm not a part of.
No,
you have
your wife sent it. Well, we're in a lot of chats.
Oh, there was one. You're right.
But they're mostly just lingerie chats.
Everybody was drinking pretty heavily. Everyone except myself and Ryan got sick. That was there.
Got sick?
Yeah. Not all at like once, but
no, of course. It's not like they time it out.
Somewhere
okay,
in the
on the
evening,
count of 3.
somewhere the next morning. But yeah, it was
crazy.
There was a lot of alcohol.
Even Christina?
Yep.
Dang.
First time in forever. But
wow.
Yeah, no, it was fun. For everyone. We had a good time. New Year's was fun. Christmas was fun. It was good. It was a good time. I tried as much not to work between Christmas and New Year's, so that was nice. And then
did you actually succeed in your
not
time
entirely,
management?
But I was a bit of a dick to people if they were asking me questions or wanted stuff. I was like, no, you can talk to me in the new year. I'm not dealing with some of this stuff right now, but it was good. Played a lot of Path of Exile.
Good.
Hung out with the kids and the family. And I have to say, I was going to bring this up. Our Discord is hilarious. Like, I have to thank everybody that's in there. Yeah, if you're not part of it, you should check it out because it's a big PoE community, but it's people who are very like-minded. And so there's not drama, there's no nastiness. Everybody's having a good time. But I was scrolling through it this past week, and I had, besides all the other stuff that was a lot of fun to read, I saw a conversation about KitchenAids and like which KitchenAids, because we have one of them too, like one of those big mixer things for like.
Oh, you're talking mixers, yeah. Right.
And just reading that set of conversation, though, I was like, this is why our Discord is the best, because we have. I mean, it's in a different channel, but I just love the fact that there's people chatting about, like, it just goes to show we already know our demographic is primarily 35 to 55. We have some outliers in the 25 to 35 for sure, and then also in the 55 and up, but 35 to 55, and our Discord shows I love that we're having conversations about like which KitchenAid. We've got people talking about what smokers they use for, like, it's just I freaking love it. It's so much fun.
That food channel is nice and busy. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But there's pets, there's like pictures of people from around the world where they go. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Educational.
And there's PoE stuff. So Anyway, just big shout out.
Very,
and thank
very
you
busy PoE
to
channel.
everybody who's on our Discord, because you make it a lot of fun to read.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I guess we can pretty much wrap up our stuff. That's good. That's our week. We had a great holiday.
Look at that. That's
time.
like a world record for all you grumps who don't like real life conversation.
Yeah.
My guess is that's going to be, we're at around 11:15, 11:20 of non-edited time. I'm guessing that's going to go down to like 10 minutes, 10:30.
Not quite. There hasn't been too much silence, but I have to take out all your racial slurs. But after that, I thought I had more that I was going to bring up, but I think that's pretty much good. I think it was a good set of 2 weeks. Kids had a good time. I was so happy when they went back to school. They were too, and now we're back into the norm.
We are
back into it.
It's nice to not be sick. We had about one-ish. My kids were sick the week before school.
Right.
So then they got better just before Christmas. So it was about 2 weeks, because we have a 2-week Christmas break here from school, in elementary school anyway. And yeah, so they were sick for about 2 weeks. They only got about a week of not being sick. And I'm like, great. Yeah. Now they're not sick, but now they're going back to school.
It's coming back.
Parents are just going to like shove their kids back at school and know how they're feeling. So my kids are going to be sick again next week, probably. But
yeah, we thankfully didn't have any sickness through the holiday either, which was nice. And it was good. It was a good holiday. It was fun. And now I'm glad it's done.
Yeah.
Back to normal. So what are we going to do? We're going to talk about this week in PoE already? I feel like we're moving too quick here. Let's do it though.
I know this isn't right. This isn't right. But anyway, community stuff, there was quite a lot. And again, I still haven't had a chance. For us, we're hosting for the holidays. My wife's parents are staying with us for a few weeks, and that's awesome. We're getting along great. We're spending time. We're getting time to ourselves. Like it's a fantastic visit, but it's just all that extra spare time that I would normally do to squeak in some maps. It's not happening. And so I've played maybe once this week. I think I got in 2 good sessions the week before. So I haven't been able to play too much. But that also means that when it comes to like, I remember the streamer interview that happened, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, but I didn't get, because we had the interview last week. So it was 2 weeks ago that I mentioned it, but I never got around to reading that streamer interview. And now I'm really behind because they came out with 2 streamer interviews this week. And apparently they're buds because they reference each other a few times in each of them. But I didn't get a chance to update or check out those ones. So what they have, they interviewed Palsteron, and Tripolar Bear. So anyway, I'll check those out in a bit. But sorry, I have no comments on those right now. I assume you didn't check them out.
No, I didn't. You know, I noticed though they forgot to put our interview with Rishi in there. So I think that must have just been an oversight. I didn't see it in the community section. Just must have forgot.
That's all right. And then there's still season 11 for build of the week is showing up, and they just not randomly. I mean, they'll check out, but they check out the builds.
Season 11, is it the 11th one or the 11th league they've done them for? What does that mean?
I don't know if they limit it to a league, but it's the second, or it's the 11th session of them. So now they're going to pick, I don't know whether it's 3, 4, or 5 that they'll reveal like once a week for a little bit.
So it's the 11th time they've done build of the week. Is that?
No, it's the 11th time they're gathering together a group of build of the weeks. And then I don't know if it goes for a month or what, but once a week they'll put out a build. Cool. Anyway, so if you guys are interested in that, it's just
their seasons make as much sense as their 0.1s and 0.2s to us. To me. Anyway, that's cool though that they're doing it.
Yeah, and so they just take them from their website where the guides are posted on their website.
Oh, is that where they take them from? Cool.
Yeah, so they check them all out, which has got to be kind of nuts. I really miss guide writing. I really miss guide writing. Yeah, and then the Hideout Showcase was amazing to watch.
I didn't look at it.
I'm like, how do people do that? How on earth do people...
Oh, it's a video, dang. No pictures. I'll have to watch that later.
They don't have any pictures.
Are there links to each one? Here's a list. .hideout files are available for download in the corresponding forum threads. All right. Perfect.
Yeah, I didn't see if they were like paid versions that look good or all default vanilla versions, but either way, they looked fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But I don't think I had anything else to say about that because I didn't get to read any of the community interviews, unfortunately. I mean, no offense by that. But 'tis the season to be busy and host for the holidays. So
I know both those names. I just don't know exactly who they are, but I have heard both of those names before.
Pretty sure I'm saying Tripolar Bear properly, but
and then Palsterone. That's how.
Palsterone.
I think that's how it is.
Palsterone.
Yep.
No E, Justin.
Yep. That whatever.
So here's what I always enjoy when you meet people from like that speak English, but they're from different parts of the country or the world, which vowels they emphasize. Palsterone, palsterone, or palsterone.
Or all of them.
See?
Palsterone!
It's like, that's right. I'm supposed to be emphasizing the end of my sentences, aren't I?
Well, not emphasizing, but just not trailing off. That's all.
So you want to get started on MTX?
It's not about yelling. It's just about consistency. What did they do for MTX? Oh, yeah, they gave away a thing. My box.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you get, what did you get from yours? Do you know?
I don't remember the console one, or maybe I don't remember the PC one. I got boots for one of them.
I got the one that's the like jellyfish that goes around you, which I was like, oh, cool, these jellyfish.
Nice.
But then I realized that they're actually only really, I mean, they have the look, they're there, but their effect is only when you use a lightning skill, and I'm not using a lightning skill, so I just have these big jellyfish floating around me. But
I now jellyfish remind me of Elden Ring all the time.
Oh yeah, that's
all
awesome.
Because it's one of the first summons you can get, and they're kind of around special places and things like that. So I always think Elden Ring now when I see them. But yeah, thanks GGE for the free Happy Holidays MTX.
That's cool.
And then they, of course, that was from the that was the Sanctum mystery box, not the Kalandra one, right? The Kalandra one's now available for everyone to buy if stuff was there.
Yeah, it was cool that it was from this one. I like that.
And some concept art from the Vault Pass. And what else? There was another one in
which
there.
You can buy on our
Sanctum.
Nexus. If you don't have the Kyrix Vault Pass, you can get it on our Nexus.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost you anything else. Plug. That's awesome. You know what I discovered though? That our Nexus is PC only. Yes. It doesn't link to console.
That's right. Yep.
That's racist. But anyway.
Well, nobody plays console.
Was it a consoleist, I guess is what you say? Like sexist, racist, demographicist.
It's definitely a word.
Yeah. So anyway, concept art for Kyrix Vault Pass. I really like that. I like seeing, because that's like the original idea, and it doesn't always it's not always something you can do, but I love seeing. So this, and I don't know, is it the same person that actually does that drawing that also makes the model that goes into the game? Is it the same person? Is it a different team? So I don't know. I like that, being naive. I enjoy being naive about that. Though it'd also be cool to learn about it. But did you see? Okay. Proximity hideout decorations.
I was like, oh, Tyler will love this.
Well, kind of.
I didn't actually want proximity. Look at them. Is it not like candelabras?
You can watch the video. Watch the video.
No, I don't want to do that.
I can wait.
Wait, why does it just look like a sheen of light? Hold on. I'm not going to watch the video, but let me just
watch the video. I'll wait.
Okay. Not as cool as I was hoping, but it's still cool.
So anyway, I'm hoping for like in the Val Temple, when you're going up in Act 2. That's what I like.
When
I like the proximity lamps or lanterns and stuff.
When we talk about our week in PoE, I'm going to tell you about a map that will become your new favorite map, and it has those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it right wall huggable?
100%. It's when I tell you about it and how I have it all set up, you're gonna love it. I already got Josh hooked on it.
With these proximity lights, I didn't think they looked fantastic, but it's nice that they're.
Like
I looked to try and buy them, and it didn't seem to work properly. I went to buy edition or version, and it wasn't going. So maybe I was trying it too quickly after it came out. But anyway, I'd like it to be attached to something.
Yeah, I want to see a candle or like something turn on as I walk by.
But I'm sure there's some cool ideas out there that would really benefit from that.
We know they have the tech, so
neat.
it's coming.
That's right.
It's
now
coming.
We know those lanterns are coming, or whatever those torches are. Yeah. MTX for Cannonade Volley as well. There's something else I wanted to say. What was it? Oh, right. So this is kind of a spoiler, so I'm not going to say anything else about the boss. But did you see the concept art for the final boss of Sanctum?
I don't think it's a spoiler alert at this point.
Well, when they posted it, which was quite recent, they said if you don't want to know what the boss looks like or anything like this is a picture, so they had it under spoiler. But so I haven't seen it. I'm not going to see it. I'm not playing the actual League mechanic anymore.
So good though.
I think I only did for the first week, but oh my goodness, what a wicked looking boss.
It's really cool too, because that boss, the way that the Sanctum works is you fight in that picture that they have, you fight the top version of the boss in that picture first. And then if you choose to go into the Beyond portal, then you fight the second version of the boss.
Really?
Yeah. And
Hang on. So let me load that then.
Yeah. So when you're fighting it's like Lucia or something. That's the name of the boss.
Oh, careful.
Everyone knows that she talks to you through the whole thing. And that's not part of their spoiler. But that's who you fight as the final boss of the Sanctum part. But then when you actually beat her in the end, the second version of her like pulls out of her skin. And that's where you get a portal to the Beyond. And if you go in there and fight her, the benefit is you can get sanctified relics, unique relics, and unique items that only she can drop. But if she kills you, and at this point it's not based on resolve, it's actually based on your life. If she kills you, you lose all of your Sanctum rewards that you would have gotten. So you can choose to not fight her and just go get all your rewards. Let's say you had like a bunch of divines that were waiting for you, or you can fight her, kill her, and get a bunch of extra stuff and still get your stuff. But if you die to her, you lose all of your stuff that's waiting for you in the Sanctum.
Listen, this game's all about the loot.
I love it.
But if you're not taking that extra, yeah, let's go do that. My fun per hour is like half. You have to go do the boss
to her once because I had not had any trouble, and then I just did something stupid and she killed me, and I had 4 divines waiting for me. If
it's not a 6 portal fight?
No, it's a one shot. If she kills you once, you lose it all. Because it's just part of the Sanctum. As soon as you die, the Sanctum ends. So
dang,
it's fun.
Well, you know what? Good for you. I'm proud of you for losing those divines. Obviously not on purpose, but you went for the pinnacle boss. And you know what? That is a way cooler version of one of my favorite Dark Souls 2 bosses. You remember that boss in Dark Souls 2? The wheelchair guy.
Oh, yeah.
You have to meet him 3 times. You go down, you do the stuff, and then
one of the craziest fights ever.
Very cool though, and very, very well timed. No idea what this boss fight is like, but this is very it's like the cooler version.
Yeah, it's a cool fight. I can't say I know too much about the mechanics of it because my goal is just to kill it fast so I get all my stuff. So I just run in circles.
Yep,
seems to work.
Sounds like
Don't
a minion
stand
player
in the stuff and run in circles.
Right, that's right. All right. There were 2 hot fixes as well, which super duper. It's good stuff. And I was starting to write down, like copying and pasting, kind of like, you know, how I do for my notes and stuff like that. I was copying and pasting some of the points that I wanted to remember or make with this. And it ended up that I was copying and pasting almost everything. So why don't we just go through this? This is the 2022, last year's retrospective of GGG, just kind of important form, everything they did last year.
Okay.
Yep, for going through it point by point. Well, not like point by point, but yeah, point by point.
What's the difference between point by point or point by point?
No, I don't want it to take too long, but it's all cool stuff. And some of it made me laugh out loud. So,
okay.
Like, so obviously they launched the 4 thingy things, right? Siege of the Atlas, Sentinel, Kalandra. Remember Sentinel? That was great. Lake of Kalandra, Forbidden Sanctum. They broke their concurrent record for players playing simultaneously again at 270,000. I like how they worded this. Zana disappeared just in time for 4 Elder Cores to attack. What would have she done? What did she do before? And it makes it seem like she's coming back.
She's definitely coming back at some point.
This was huge. I really like these because you kind of forget how recent some of these changes are, because core stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Within the year, they overhauled the Atlas, transforming it from 4 separate regions to just one big region.
Best change they made all year.
Amazing,
of the
though.
Whole year, that's my favorite change.
I don't think many people would argue with you. There's a lot of things that you can love about their changes, but to me, I'd agree with you. That one's pretty amazing.
Is the best. Yeah.
Yep. Within this year, the gem and flask stash tabs came in, which I love those, but like that was a while ago. Are you looking at the next one? Don't spoil it.
I'm not going to, but I didn't notice that. I didn't read this very much, so
the gem and flask tabs are only a year old, and I'm very appreciative of those because, well, no, I'm a minor recipe guy, so all those 10% and above gems and flasks, easy to throw them into a thing. Cool. So it's nice. It's nice. Loved this one. You want to read the next 2?
Well, it's the combination of the 2 that's funny. They said we added Arch Nemesis to the game. we removed Arch Nemesis from the game.
Just two sentences, periods. You get Victor Borger reading that, and it's like with his periods. Yeah, that was awesome. Really glad for that.
Glad to see it go.
Still very happy. Yep. Love the concept, love the idea, as we mentioned, but really awesome to see that version of the execution gone. And I really like what they currently have. And I am still finding, I know you're like always very, or not, you always have your defense and offense figured out very well, but you're always way more offensive than I am in terms of your total damage output. But I'm still finding some of the rares to be quite a pain in the butt. And I like that. Yep. So yeah, definitely not the majority, but it's still enough for me to enjoy and appreciate some easy and some very difficult rare encounters.
I at least haven't found them, though, to be where they are the difficult ones, to be in the same level of what some of the difficulty was with Arch Nemesis, where it was just like, no, I would run past them. Some of them were so ridiculous in Arch Nemesis that I was like, I can't kill this. It will not be worth killing this. So
I do get that with the occasional Rogue Exile, because I've invested into Rogue Exiles and Torments, but that wouldn't be impacted by AN. And I do get that with some Rogue Metamorphs as well, just some stuff where I can't move the health bar at all. So anyway, Kyric's Vault Pass came out this year, which is kind of cool. Hosted a thrilling kill boss event for Siege of the Atlas.
Yep. Then they did one for Sentinel for like Calandra.
And don't we love those boss kill events, Justin?
No,
don't
I
we
hope
love
they go
those?
away. I hope they go away.
Me too.
Stop screwing up our private league. Or
I really like them.
Keep it.
I think they're really fun.
Just don't limit your private leagues based on them. That's all.
Oh yeah, they added Uber versions of bosses.
I remember doing one. I did Uber Eater of Worlds because I was like, Eater's easy. I've actually had, this was last league. I was like, I have no problem. I may as well try the Uber version. Nope. It was me.
Why? I know that they add there's even new mechanics that they add too.
There's new mechanics. They do their mechanics more often and they have more power. And I could not. His I don't remember what it was specifically, but he kicked my ass. So I would like to try them again though, but I don't know if I don't know if my build's strong enough to live through it. I think I could do the damage, but anyway.
I love that because there was already an Uber Elder. Now there's just Uber Elder.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's right. They made it so you could have multiple influences on a map this past year. Neat. The challenge reward system got a major overhaul too.
Really cool.
That's pretty cool for most people. Yep, I do like that. I absolutely love how they show you the rewards in game. It's not just a checkbox. I do like that a lot.
And it's armor, which is such a good change.
Yeah, very, very cool. They expanded the office.
Cool.
Where they are. I like seeing those pictures. I don't know. I like the back end stuff. Like I get really excited for our GGG employee interviews. I get excited to see their pictures and what they're doing. So I like that kind of stuff. Oh yeah. The mangled text bug. It's old school now. So it's only what people, remember when, that kind of bug. But yeah, they fixed it. And congratulations again to the employee that finally did that. That bug was in the game for since 2016.
Yep.
To me, best change. The best change. Maybe second,
was
maybe
the
first.
Text? Yeah. Okay.
No, adding official controller support for PC changed changed everything.
Yeah.
If I was still doing guide writing, it would have dramatically changed how I limited my guides and stuff like that. So that was really cool for me. We announced ExileCon. They announced ExileCon 2023. And I clicked on that link because that's a link. And they are going to have the beta date announced there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Path of Exile 2 and mobile. Can't wait for mobile.
It's weird they're still on
That'll
that, but yeah.
Sweet. Yep. You'll be able to play it and then you can meet people and stuff. Merchandise store. So basically, it's like the one evening. So it's, the morning afternoon of one day and then the morning afternoon of the next day.
Cool.
So yeah, looking forward to those reveals and the beta date. That's exciting. Hopefully it's not like a 3-year beta. I closed.
All right. We revealed Calandra, the mysterious entity behind the mirror of Calandra. Yeah. Okay. Introduced Atlas Memories.
That's exciting. What do you mang about that?
That
was
just
awesome.
the league. It was a crappy league to do it.
I know it was a sucky league, but that's still really cool.
It should have been
Bird Lady mirrors.
This league is one of the best leagues they've released in forever. This should have been
core wise.
Well,
the league mechanic itself isn't for everybody.
I think it's growing. Even myself, I hated it in the beginning. It is really good once you actually start getting into it. But the core of the game's amazing.
Okay.
Atlas memories. I want to like them so bad. I really want to like them. I love the idea of them. I love how they work. I hate that it's not a story. It's not a continuous. There's not even an end. There's not an end. It's not like Keurig says something different to you when you finally complete it. It drives me nuts that I get the exact same. Like, there's some incredible story writers on their team. I don't get why it's just one paragraph for all 3 to 5 maps that I'm playing. Like, I want it to progress. I'm actually reading that, and then I'm just going, oh, it's the same stuff. And then when you're done, they don't like reminisce or like nothing. It's just over. I just see it's
weird to call it a memory when there's not a lot of effort put. I don't know if there was a lot of effort put in, but from our standpoint, when it's the same thing over and over and everything that Justin just said, it's weird to call it a memory.
It's literally
like,
just
why not call it like a
paragraph memory sentence, 2 sentences.
Why bother with that version of the lore explaining stuff? You could have called it like
a thought, Keurig's thought.
Keurig's adventure or something, and you have so now they're going on 4 things, and then you don't have to worry about like that kind of stuff. But you're right.
If you're gonna do
because it's called a memory, you get excited for discovering more about this memory. It has nothing, and so it does give that excitement of okay, I'm going to find out about this Keurig memory and everything that he's adding to the circumstance. Not both. But one cool thing I saw on Reddit, and my apologies, Reddit individual, for not writing your name down, but somebody had, I think it was like 4 different memories that were all the same final destination.
It's all pretty.
Yeah, but there's even the detail. GGG put the details in there of like it has like small animations where it's like moving around a little bit, and they all have different colors, but it's all like, it's not like a messy overlap. It's a designed overlap so that it looks good with that many different memories. Cool. Yeah,
I really want to know if that shows up on the Atlas thing on the hideout. I traded with one person who had that hideout, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love your hideout!" But I forgot to ask that. I should have asked that. I even said to them, "I'm just going to stay here for a minute." I just walked around.
That's awesome.
I don't think so. I would love to, but at American to Canadian dollar change, it's a tough sell. It's a tough sell for just the hideout, because that's really all I want.
It's what, 450 American,
480 American, so it's like almost $600 Canadian.
$10 billion Canadian. Yeah. I wonder, like, somebody goes into your hideout for a trade, and they're like, "Really? You're only at like 60 out of 115? What have you been doing? What's wrong with you?"
The one guy
need some help for that map. No, live off. Thanks for the trade. Kick.
You can't kick somebody out of your hideout though.
No, but if you kick them from your party, because you can have those different permissions, like anybody in your hideout can use your portal. Only party members can use your portal.
Stay there forever.
Portal.
If they don't close the game, they're never leaving.
They can, but just think about all the Atlas judgment you could get if you're not a fast progressing player like myself. You come in for the trade, and they're like, "Really?
You know, this will look a lot better when you fill it."
Yeah, that's right.
You have the option to turn it off until it's done.
Or maybe you'll get some freebie stuff. Like, you know what? Here's an extra 10C. Go buy yourself some basing equipment. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's funny. But anyway, that one's really cool. Awesome that we got on that from the memories, because anyway, they added Trial Master fight back in. That's right. I really liked that. There's the 2 Trial Master. So there's the Trial Master that's extremely derogatory. Love that guy. I love there's that one portal.
Yeah, I have it. The night portal where he either cheers you on,
that
or
would have been okay.
It was a different pack.
That's right. Yeah, welcome back, Exile. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's right. And then what else is there? Oh, right. This is irrelevant, but I just started thinking of it because of
the one
awesome characters and writing. The Delirium guy.
Oh yeah, I was thinking.
I know that Kit and Cat Noodle told us who it was, but I forget. But just his voice and everything he says,
it's so good.
Everything is your fault. Just him and the Trial Master. Yes, please. Give me more. I would love
to see the Trial Master back where you see them more often, because they were a lot of fun. And I don't even know how you fight them now. I have no idea how you fight the Trial Master currently.
Let me find out.
That doesn't really matter.
But I want to
move on to some other things while you're doing that. We had
no. I want to comment
of pinnacle bosses. Okay. Rebalance and overhaul 100 uniques. Buff Cleave's radius by 2. I love that that's actually a point in here. Banish the bandit beyond demons.
I'm not listening. You got to stop.
Replace them with the demonic horrors from Scourge.
Okay, hang on. Oh, I love that joke. That made me laugh. Buffed cleave by radius of +2. Out of all the changes, they added that. That's hilarious. And I do love that one where we were talking about that just a couple leagues ago because I forgot about it. But they got rid of the bandit beyond demons and replaced them with Scourge. I really like that change.
It's fun when a boss comes out of there. Life Force for Harvest. That's a cool change, especially for people who like Harvest. Harvest to me I don't touch it. It's too much. It's like taking the crafting bench and then putting it on crack and just throwing you a big giant list. If you don't know the crafts, it's a really tough thing to get into. Cause chaos.
I do like the Life Force change. I know outside of what crafts were removed or not, I do like the idea of Life Force in general.
Yep, that's what I was saying. I just don't like Harvest for that. Cause chaos in the standard economy by subtly changing what divine orbs and exalted orbs are valued at. Subtly is not true. It was not subtle at all. It was a very big shift. I like it though, because it is way more fun now to use an exalt.
Yes, it's
a lot more fun to use an exalt. And although I do find myself still having to shift my mindset now sometimes with some uniques and some items with going like, it's not worth divining this where it used to be worth divining. So if I got a unique that I knew I wanted and it had really low, maybe it had all like the lowest rolls, I used to just be like, oh, no big deal. At least I can divine it once or twice and it's got to be better than what it is. Now it's not worth that at all. Maybe if you're playing Solo Self-Found. Overhaul Trickster. Cool.
Yeah. Giving it a bunch of new toys. That's true. A bunch of new skills, including Bow Cleave. Did we say that this was buffed by +2? This was very important.
Why? Awesome. I don't get it. What's the? Oh God! Now I got to make a note of this time.
Yeah. Sometimes people cough, Justin.
Yeah, I do it quietly if you don't mind. I'm not taking that one out.
The Trial Master can be found in the Tower of Ordeals unique map, which is not part of the bonus objectives.
What's the map called?
Tower of the Ordeals.
And how do you get that?
It cannot be chanced. You create this map by combining ultimatum aspects.
Okay, what are those?
Those are Uberid Ziri, Alva's Temple, Val Temple, and Delve Temple boss drops.
Oh, interesting. So you have to fight the Val bosses and then combine drops from them to do it. Huh. Cool.
Yes. So it's like
probably won't do it, but that's
ultimate cool. Val boss.
Yeah. That's cool. Wonder if I've ever seen the drops from the Val Temple then, because I don't remember ever seeing anything special where I was like, hey, what is that? Huh.
Maybe you need to make your own filter, I can make one for you.
My filter's fine. I've done the Val Temple quite a few times this league. I don't remember seeing anything where I was like, I wonder what that is. Interesting. Maybe it's just really rare.
Well, yeah, maybe. Or you just need to try harder. Forbidden Sanctum came out, overhauled a plethora of endgame unique weapons, including fan favorites like Starforge and its series something. Ruthless came out. That was just this league.
If you're curious about Ruthless, go listen to our episode with Rishi. He was one of the brain children behind it.
Yes, very passionate about it. Very passionate. We hadn't played it, but we definitely were very curious about it for sure. So
we probably
asked as many questions as we could. Yes, we will for sure.
Teaser for
come on, probably
Private League and After Dark.
Yeah, we got to make those choices today in After Dark. Yep. Revived our Build of the Week series. Yay! Series 11. Added 49 uniques to the game.
Cool.
Had a whole bunch of unique winners designed and applied their uniques to the game. 18 new currency items.
Yeah, some that aren't included, like the recombinators that aren't around anymore. Cool.
Excellent. I guess they're still floating around on standard. Yeah.
I would have thought that they would have had more than 2,128 lines of patch notes. But I guess that's only 4 patch notes. So maybe actually that's quite a bit for only 4.
And there was 1,861 lines of patch notes for console, which is the superior platform. And they sold over 212,000 Wedas this year.
How many of those were yours?
I buy one Weda whenever it's on sale. It's on my wish list. It does not go away. I like to have grass in my hideout. Wedas are not big enough to be seen in the grass, so you only see them when you're outside the grass.
I really want you to get the map device that sucks them all in when you run a map.
I really do too. How much is that? Let me quickly check.
160 or 180 one.
Buy packs.
I feel like it's somewhere around the $100
there it is.
range.
It's the $1,600 pack. So Americano. Oh, $160
like $200 Canadian. Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh man, hang on. Let's see. $160 American. Sorry, my double clicking is not working. Oh, $215.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I value my marriage, and that's not going to happen. But I do like all.
Look, watch what happens.
Hun,
they're trying to get away and they can't.
All right. Now that's foreplay, right? Like you're just as excited about this as I am. Let's go do that. All right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, I do actually quite like the armor set too, which is really cool, and the stuff that comes before it.
Yep.
But either way, not going to happen. Ever. Oh, but then see, that's the problem. If you just start, I'm sure a lot of people get into this problem, but once you start, like, let's say I get the $160 one. Well, to upgrade to the big one where you get the interactive Atlas hideout, you're like, oh, okay. Well,
I like that they do that
much
though,
more,
because what it means is over the course of, especially because these particular things will last for the year. These ones. So that what that does mean is you could, instead of just paying $480 right now, you could go, well, you know what? I'm going to start at this month buying this one because then it's cheaper to upgrade to each one. Like you're not putting out as much. So if you wanted to spread it out over the year, I do like that they at least have that option, but in the end, it is still a lot of money.
Yeah. But you know what? You bring up a good point, because let's say you are one of those people that are fine giving them that much money. You know, let's say, and you get the most expensive support pack this time around. Already you have like 5 or 6, whatever it is, armor sets, right?
It's so hard.
And what if you did that last year and the year before, and you bought some of your own armor sets and you get some stuff for free, and then you're getting this and that, and you get your own support packs, maybe each league, whatever it is. Like their organization system's so basic and minimal, which is, to me, is mind-boggling, because you're paying money, and you're paying a lot of money. Like you're paying $30 for a chest, you know, like a body armor look, an MTX, and their organization system is so garbage when it comes to that. It's just a list.
I just want randomized
list.
I want randomized.
And yeah, that's right. And then they do have the option where you can organize your MTX based on theme. But unless you have those themes memorized, so, you know, like it's like, oh, that's where it is. Okay. And then you can slowly get it over. But I kind of wish there was a little bit more intuitiveness to their MTX organizational system. The ability to hide certain portals, the ability to have a random button, the ability to see what something looks like without equipping it, so that you don't have to
reopen the menu.
You know what? I actually don't like what that looks like. Okay, now let's go find these other MTX. You know, maybe you could have like saved sets, because certain MTX looks good with other stuff. Anyway.
You know, one thing that drives me crazy is I paid for the MTX, but for some reason, if one of my characters has something being used as an MTX, in order to use it as an MTX for this other character that I've now created, I have to remove it from the other character who had it, which is a whole extra click, because you have to click it and then confirm you want to remove it from that person. What difference does it make? Who cares if I'm using the same chest on 8 of my guys because I like that chest? Why do I have to switch it every time? I don't understand that. It can't be abused. It's my own character in the game. So I've never understood why that has to be limited to a single one of your characters. I don't get it.
The only thing I can think of is greed. Okay, I really like this.
Well, there's no greed. You can't have 2 of them.
Well, you can buy 2. You can buy multiples of any MTX.
You still get that same thing, though, that says that it's currently in use by this one, if it's like an armor piece.
Really?
So I don't understand what the I don't get the idea of why that needs to exist at all.
It would be nice, because, for example, for me with my Righteous Fire character, there's one Righteous Fire MTX that I have, and I'm always going to choose.
Always going to want it.
MTX, that specific armor set to match that.
Totally.
I think it's the Sanctum one. No, not the Sanctum. What was the Synthesis League? There was a Synthesis pack there that matches a really nice RF, the blue RF MTX. So I always like having those together. But I like how it looks on other characters too, because it matches ice and it matches this. And so,
I don't understand why in that case it has to be limited to one where I can't abuse it. They're my characters, which I can only be on one of them at a time. So I've never quite got why that needs to be set up in a way that you have to actually remove it from somebody. But it is what it is. Maybe PoE 2 they'll fix how their MTX works, because it's a little bit silly right now.
Hopefully. I wish those were kind of the things that they would be telling us now, though. Like, to me, those aren't features.
Or
those are like
them now.
Well, just like the little bit of basics. Like, let's say they're going to have like a minion character screen. Let's say they're going to have like a place where you can, like just those MTX improvements that we were just talking about, whether it was like set pieces or being able to try something on without actually removing it from your character in case you didn't like it. You could cancel, you know what I mean? Your equipped MTX. But I wish those were kind of things that they would already tell us about, because those aren't, to me, features. Those are basic QOL things that you add to the game as soon as you have them. They're not, PoE 2
Unless there's a
better
restraint
for that.
Like Rishi did mention, there's some technology restraints, and so some of those may not be restrained in the same sense with PoE 2. But I agree with you. Like, I spent at least an hour working on Animated Guardian with Josh this week, because he'd never played it before, and trying for him to try and understand how Animate Guardian work and the silliness behind that you don't know. Because he said to me, he's like, how do I know which chest I put onto him? And I'm like, you better write it down.
Isn't that stupid?
Or look at him very carefully, and hopefully you can tell by the 3D design which one it is.
You have to write it down.
Yeah. And he was like, oh man, I can't remember which one I put on it. And I mean, Animate Guardian, you're typically using uniques. It makes the most sense, but it's still silly that there is no way to see what you've currently equipped on.
Yeah. But it is a strong guy. Like, if you're using it for offense, it is strong. It is strong. So sometimes, like, if you are using it for some secondary damage, it's worth putting on just a decent rare. I know there's other ones that are beneficial for other things, but
yeah, I think in any case, it's always beneficial to the unique, because you get the benefit of the unique, but it's still, there should be something that at least tells you what you're doing. And like, even making a UI where if I swap the chest out, I understand that the other one will be deleted. That's fine. Sure. But at least still show me what they are.
And that's kind of my point, though. Even if those things are restricted to the technology coming in PoE 2, those are like basic QOL things you wish could exist in your game. To me, those aren't things that you wait as a reveal. But like, maybe that's massive reveals.
Maybe they just want to build it all up.
Well, that would dishearten me for PoE 2. If those very small basic things are reveals, that means to me that there's not much else to reveal for PoE 2.
No, that's not true.
No,
that's
like,
not true.
let me put it this way. If it's something where someone says, oh man, about time, that's not something you want to wait until the very end to reveal. Stuff like ascendancies and skills and level layouts and the randomness of their campaign that they talked about. That's PoE 2 stuff. For me, these like little basic things like the MTX stuff that we were just talking about, or the minion screens that we're talking about, when you know that's going to happen, like, time that post out, but that doesn't need to wait until ExileCon.
It does, though, or it needs to wait till closer to release, because if you tell people, let's say they've known for like the last 2 years, that's a bit frustrating for the player to know that it is going to come in PoE 2, but I've been told so far in advance that I still, like, at least in this sense, if you hold it all till the reveal, then it's all done. You're getting everything, you can get excited about it, versus getting excited about it and being like, well, who the hell knows when that's going to even be out anyway. So I can see why they would hold on to stuff.
I disagree with that one. To me, that's a personality thing. Like, if you know something's coming, great. And if you know that the technology is restricted to PoE 2, well, it's like, okay, it's the same thing as telling people 2 years in advance that PoE 2 is coming. It's the same thing.
Well, PoE 2 is coming. That one's easy. But if you actually start getting into like the details of what is going to be coming with it, I think it's better to hold on to that till you can actually, I would rather them not actually reveal almost anything until they give me a date. Because I found the PoE 2 reveal at ExileCon in 2019 as cool as it was. And they did their little nuanced things like, oh, you click a single button and all your auras turned on. But we found that out so like it got to a point where you and I were talking and I was like, I don't give a shit anymore until there's a date for PoE 2. So I know what you're saying. It would be nice. I would love to hear that it's coming, but I can understand why they would hold on to it if maybe because in July they are actually announcing. If they're releasing a beta date, you would assume that we're also getting a PoE 2 official release date.
Yeah, I would assume it's the last ExileCon before the release.
So anyway,
yeah, it's like I've praised many times how Bethesda released, I think it was Fallout 4. It was coming within 6 months. Like there wasn't going to be another E3 for them to announce between. It was just, hey, it's coming out and it's coming out in November. And you're like, what? It's in June. It's already June. Oh my goodness. Like, I like that. And I know that's not what GGG did here, but if you are going to have that long list, if you're going to do teasers, you make it the minor teasers, not the major teasers. You don't save minor teasers for the end. That's my thing.
I still want them to release PoE 2 the day after they announce it at ExileCon, just so that.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? With the exception of them saving the beta date.
But that's got to be, I'm just saying that's for something else.
That's the mobile beta.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe they'll release the mobile. That would be fun if they're like, and you can download it now in the Play Store.
That'd be cool because then you're not screwing over people that are actually in New Zealand.
Although they may not pay much attention for the rest of your conference, but
yeah, that's right. People are like cursing each other or whatever it is. Yeah. No, that'd be fun. You play this week? Tons. You said you played lots and you were dealing with Josh. Did you really? Tons.
I played a lot this week. Yep.
Anything special? Yeah. You revamped your character. You're not doing RF.
I'm not doing RF. I'm doing totems. I knew I wanted to go totems because I wanted to focus on totems. I ended up going with consecrated totems. I don't remember. Somebody told me to try it out. So I started playing around with the POB. And okay, so first off, I got to say Path of Building. I love Path of Building. I know you have like your POE planner stuff, which is fine, or not POE. Is that the one you use for your?
Yep, it is.
Okay. POB. So I got my consecrated totem guy together, but I knew I wanted to still fit in blood and sand. Somehow I wanted to get blood and sand in because it's a pretty big amount of DPS buff, but I couldn't figure out how to find the mana because I still needed to be able to cast the totems and I didn't want to be running out of mana. I just wanted to be able to get clarity to the level that I could support it with arrogance to not feel like I was giving up too much life, but also be able to throw down the 3 casts of consecrated totem plus the 1 cast of ancestral protector. Because it's hooked up to multiple totems. So that gives me 3 of consecrated, 2 of ancestral protector. And I could not figure it out in game. I just couldn't. I couldn't figure out what was going to give me the right number. Man, going into Path of Building though, and then starting to look at, okay, where can I get mana or where can I get better reservation efficiency? And then realizing that I could get rid of my shaman something. I can't remember what it's called. It was the one that I had anointed onto my neck, but then switching that for charisma and then realizing if I switch to charisma, which is a mana reservation efficiency and I think non-curse aura efficiency or non-curse aura effect, putting that on, then I could actually see how I could fit blood and sand in and where my mana would be. And it was so much. I actually had a lot of fun in POB this week, like really just tinkering and trying to figure out how I could make it work. So anyway, consecrated totems.
Well, welcome to tool building, Justin.
Yeah, I don't like to live in there, but I did have a lot of fun for like the 45 minutes that I was really just trying to figure it out. And so I ended up getting it working. And it was also fun too, because you can make changes in Path of Building that cost me nothing. If I wanted to go like, what's my total full DPS right now as my build is, I can just import my character and then compare that to something I actually was changing. You change the anoint on the thing, switching my gear, adding blood and sand, putting it on, and then being able to compare point for point. Where am I actually getting an improvement that makes sense for me to make this change? So I had a lot of fun with that. But anyway, consecrated totems.
Good, I'm glad.
And I wanted to be able to clear sanctums more safely, which I've been able to do the sanctums now. RF is just really hard. I know there's people that are probably crushing sanctums with RF, but it's just so much easier when you don't have to be close up to the enemies. Like I did one of the sanctums with one of the unique relics where you have to, your coins are going to get turned into relics if you beat the final boss. So you want to build up as many coins as you can, right? So in the course of building the sanctum, I had to be careful to not ever take anything that would remove coins from me, which forced me into decisions that were awful. So one of the first options was, which I didn't think would have been so bad, I just didn't realize I was going to get so screwed later on, which is all the guards are doubled. So all of the little mini boss guys that you fight now spawn as 2 of them.
I like that one.
I'm like, okay, cool. That's a lot more health. But the problem is there's also a lot more things that can take down your inspiration or resolve because they're doing more stuff, more damage, right? They're casting more often, or not more often, but just twice as often. And then I ended up getting screwed in one of the choices where I had to give them 30% increased movement and action speed. And that buff also affects traps. So, and then I got forced into another one that was traps are faster. And so it was really tough to get through that one. It was fine. I did beat it, but it wasn't really worth it. But the Sanctum has been a lot of fun, but I wanted to focus on doing the Sanctums, and Sanctums to me still suck in the sense of how you build them, because you got to do 32 maps to get a full Sanctum run. And that to me is quite a lot to do a full Sanctum run. So the map you should check out is Mausoleum. I think you can do Mausoleum as a tier 16 with 3 void stones. I don't know if you can do it with 2. I'd have to check. I have the 4 void stones, so I'm not really sure, but Mausoleum. It's
linear.
It's literally like I guess you could say it's almost like a figure 8, but you just follow the right. You follow the right, and it's a hallway. So it's a wide hallway, but there's never any risk of backtracking.
Okay.
So and it's quick. It's not a super long map, but you hit the Sanctum really easily. If you're doing it with the altars, so whether you're doing it with Eater or Syrian Exarch, like whichever one of those altar modifiers you're doing on it, the best part is that boss in Mausoleum is the Clarissa's boyfriend one. Tolman. But it's the one where he's like locked down and then pulses. It's the one that you fight in the key, like in Act 9 or whatever.
That's called the key?
Yeah.
Not the Quay?
It's spelled Quay. I'm pretty sure it's key.
Oh my goodness. You're probably right. I hate English so much.
But it's him. But the best part is that boss is not considered active on the map until you go into his arena. And so the benefit to that is that all of the altars will never spawn with boss modifiers. They will always spawn with modifiers for the mobs until the boss is active, which is really cool. So that means that I can go through, never have to worry about the boss getting the altars, which the boss altars are fine now if you get really lucky, but most of them aren't because they're not great. So unless you hit that one lucky one that's a divine, going to give you divines, it's better to get the mob ones. But so you can go around, you could choose to even skip the boss and only fight him every 14th fight because you want to get the Screaming Invitation or whatever the Syrian Exarch version is. But yeah, it's a just right turn only. It goes all the way through. It's like a figure 8. And it has the torches that light up as you walk past them.
Oh man, that's cool.
So on my Atlas, I completely revamped my Atlas because I wanted to play with Grand Design. Okay. Grand Design is where the small Atlas passives do nothing, but all of the notables that you have increase the pack size by 1%. So I was like, well, how much pack size can I push into it? So then I also took Growing Hordes. It's on the top right-hand side. It turns your scarabs to not have their normal effect, but now a scarab increases pack size. Okay. So it's like 5, 7, 9 and something. I can't remember how it works, exactly what percentages, but for each scarab you add, you're increasing pack size. And then I just took, is it called Singular Focus? Whatever the one is that lets your map drop 200% more. And I just set Mausoleum as all my favorite map slots. So I've been flying through that, getting lots of currency, filling up my Sanctums. I have to sell my Screaming Invitations, which is the Uber Eater, because I can't fight. Not Uber Eater, just the Eater of Worlds. I can't fight the Eater with my
sissy.
One thing that I realized.
I think that's offensive now. I didn't mean that. If that's offensive to people,
I don't think sissy's offensive. I think maybe pussy's offensive.
I
don't think sissy is.
Loser. That's globally offensive. There you go.
Big not thinking person.
Cotton-headed ninny muggins.
There you go. If you're an elf. So anyway, I've been playing
Eater of Worlds
but the problem is Eater of Worlds. So there's 2 fights that I found in particular, Eater of Worlds and Maven. I actually can't do those fights because the way that I regen my health with my consecrated totems, because I am, I get the leech off of the totem damage.
Yeah.
So if the totems can't hit something, I literally have no way of regenning my health. I don't have enough life regen where in the eater fight where he goes and you have to walk through those like 6 bubbles.
Yeah.
There's nothing for my totems to hit. So if my totems don't, and I'm constantly taking damage, so I can't actually heal enough through those phases.
What about a life flask?
1 that's out. There's no way I like that.
Yeah.
That beam that he does, if you can't move quickly enough, does quite a bit of damage.
Yeah.
And
but 1 life flask isn't enough, eh?
No, I was doing it with 1 life flask and it wasn't enough. And so I have seen some people though that can do enough damage that he never gets to that phase, which seems bananas. I've never had that
cheaters.
That high damage. Anyway, Maven has another version. Josh and I did try Maven and it didn't go well. I was showing Josh some of the fights because he hadn't done Shaper or Elder. He's never done Cyrus. So
he hasn't done Shaper or Elder? Okay.
I showed him Shaper. We did Shaper. We did Elder. Then he was like, what about Maven? I'm like, yeah, sure. It should be fine. Such a dumb fight. That stupid memory game part. By the time we got to where it was 6 of them, both of us were like, well, shit. I lost it after like up left. Yeah. I have no idea what's happening. So
what did you think of Cyrus?
We didn't do Cyrus yet, but he hasn't done Cyrus. But he liked Shaper. He found Shapers to be very chaotic, especially compared to to Elders. Elders is a much smoother fight.
Yeah.
Shapers is very chaotic. It's like there's balls coming in from the side, there's beams, there's him firing his balls in the last phase. There's 2 versions of them, so you got to be careful about multiple spots. All of a sudden you're getting teleported out. You got to go stand by Zana when she's got the red ball. Like
and the ball's not consistent either.
No, and then you got to be careful too because the little circle coming in. Like there were a couple times where I was like, don't step on that thing, but we have to stay in the round circle. So when you're by yourself, it's really easy because you can just run in a circle around Zana and it will just continuously chase you and it'll never open up. But if you open it up right where Zana is, you're screwed. Like trying to get back there. So he found the Shaper one to be very chaotic. And Elder, I actually invited him to After Dark tonight, so we'll be chatting with him a little bit about that tonight. But yeah, it was fun showing him some bosses that he had, because I didn't realize that for as long as he's played, and he has very high level player. He follows guides, which is great, but he hadn't done most of the boss, like the real bossing type stuff. He'd never done them before, so I still want to show him Uber Elder. That's where you fight Elder and Shaper at the same time, because that is a fun fight, and it's at least in the Elder arena. So it's not like you're not being teleported out, and it is crazy. It gets hectic, but it's more hectic in the sense of like you just have to watch for stuff, whereas the Shaper fight is pretty crazy. But I had a really good week. I love how I have my Atlas set up now. I love how I have Mausoleum. I'm really enjoying Mausoleum, which I couldn't figure out what map I wanted to do. And once I started playing with that one, I was like, oh, it's worked out fantastic because it's so easy to just quickly whip around it. And Sanctum's been fun. I have not felt so drawn into a league in a long time, like to the point where last night when I was going to bed, I was actually like, I wonder what I would try next. Like maybe I'll try traps or mines or something would probably be pretty good.
Did you say
Sanctum.
minions next?
No,
is that what you
can't. So Josh is playing the SRS, but it's a poison SRS, and he was talking to me like maybe a week ago, and he's like, oh, I watched this video from this guy. He's like Baylor or something. And I'm like, yeah, there's a streamer named Baylor Mage. He's like, yeah, I saw a video from him. I'm going to try that out. And he was showing how you could do it on a budget, blah, blah, blah. And then within the hour or 2 hours of the two of us talking, he's like, all right, he's a liar. These prices are way higher. I'm like, that's what happens though, man. If you pick
the second
a build
the video starts.
Yeah. Once you pick a build that there's like, 50, 100,000 people watching it, and people see them doing the content, them doing it on a budget means nothing anymore. Right. Because your stuff becomes very expensive. So
the prices used to be legit, but then they made the video.
Once they make a video, that stuff spikes up. So apparently Poison SRS is super popular. And there's not another version of minions that to me would work well in Sanctum. Because you need to be able to like hide, and
skeletons would be super easy because you can point and cast. Reaper is extremely aggressive.
Reaper, you have to have line of sight for you to use the skill.
Yeah, but it still dances around.
But SRS, you literally just stand and cast out. You know what I mean? And it will turn the corner.
Sometimes,
there's not too much else that will.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'm really enjoying the totems right now. So, but I've just not had a league in a long time where I've got my totems is 99, my RF is 97.
Good for you.
And I actually probably could push 100. And that's just Mausoleum. That's literally just Mausoleum. I did one set of the 5 ways to get the thing unlocked, like whatever the map device. So you have like 4 things on.
Okay.
But yeah,
you're actually using all of those slots?
Yeah, they're all scarabs so that I get that extra bonus from growing hordes, right? Because it's an extra 5 to 10% pack size. Like my maps
that many
right
dropping
now,
for you, or are you buying your scarabs?
that they're all just dropping, especially if you're running with the altars, because you can get more scarabs that drop. And yeah, I haven't bought any scarabs at all, but the my pack size on my maps is anywhere from 90 to 120%, which is super fun. That's so high. Like normally your pack sizes are like 20%, so it's
That'd
a lot
be cool
of fun
with Beyond.
So because I'm running Fortune Favors the Brave, Beyond is one of the modifiers, and I swear to God, it's got the highest weighting because that's the one I see all the time. So, which is fine because I got a lot of the tainted stuff. Not that I 6-linked an item just for fun. I was laughing at Josh. I got a Quill Rain that dropped a unique, the bow. It just happened to drop with 6 sockets. I mean, it's a low level. I think it's like level 4, right? For Quill Rain. And so I was like, I got all these fusings. I wonder if I can 6-link it. And I did. In 200 fusings, I 6-linked it. I was doing it just for fun. I was like, I wonder if I can get this thing to 6-link. So I'm currently sitting on that. I'm not sure if I would do anything with bows, but yeah, I don't know. I've not had a league though where I'm a month in and debating making a 3rd character.
There's been very few. I think the only other time that I can remember you lasting this long in the league without burning out or getting bored is was it Scourge? What was the one with
maybe
those
Sentinel?
Sentinel. That's the one where it was following you around. You really liked that.
Sentinel was fun, yeah. This one, it's just that the base game right now is so much fun, and I'm still finding enjoyment in Sanctum because Sanctum is different. I never can run the same Sanctum. I can't. It's not possible to run the exact same Sanctum twice. So the effect of the Sanctum is different. The uniques that can drop at the end are different. Did you know that you can get these invocations, they're called? Thanks a lot to the people in Global 2121 as well, because they helped me out a lot. There was one individual who helped me out a ton yesterday because I was an idiot and couldn't figure it out. I wish I knew who they were, but people's names don't match their in-game names. But I had a bunch of Sanctum questions. But yeah, so these invocations that have a chance to drop.
Those are those new things I was annoyed with GGG for adding to the filter after the league started.
Well, I've never seen one, and apparently they're just a rare drop when you use a unique relic to complete the Sanctum, but it puts a keystone onto your sanctified relic. That is so cool. I've never even seen one, so I have to play till I see one of those.
That's right.
But anyway, it's been a really fun week. I think I've leveled to halfway through 99 about 4 times, just because you die once and it's like, well, there goes 2 hours. But yeah, it's been fun. How was your PoE week? Did you play much? I know you didn't get a ton.
I don't remember my sessions, but I have notes from a couple sessions, so it must have been from last week. But I am excited to play a lot more for sure. I was going to play last night. I told my company and my wife, I'm just going to play PoE all night tonight if you're all right with that. And I was going to, and then when my wife was reading Harry Potter, I didn't catch any of it. I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I couldn't shake the fog, so I just kissed her goodnight and went to bed at like 7:45 and I stayed asleep all night. But for the most part, from what I remember, my sessions have been me playing my zombie build, my necromancer, which has full mitigation and life investment for my zombies. And I'll play around with that for a while. And then instead of zombies, I'll throw in the Reaper instead and seeing what that's like. That's not a fully designed Reaper build.
Is this the PC one or is this?
This is the console one.
Okay, because PC you're playing Reaper.
That's right. And so then I'll throw in a fully leveled Reaper, which I've been leveling on the side for a couple leagues. And then, yep, that's right. That's how long it takes me to get a gem to level 20 these days. But then, and it's not like a Reaper build, it's cutting out all the extra damage that I would use for zombies, but you can't use for a Reaper build because it gets rid of your other minions. And so then, I'm trying out different things, but I'm seeing other Reaper plays with full investment and what its clear speed would be. So I was doing lots of white maps and seeing, because I didn't want the extra additions to come in and change my testing, quote unquote. So I would do the same map maybe 6 times. I'd do 3 with the zombies, then I'd do 3 with the Reaper. Same build, same tree. And then I'd, come down on PC if it was free, and I'd be playing my Reaper build that's the Elementalist with the Reaper. And that one has no minion survivability. And then, I'm seeing, okay, well, maybe I only need a tiny bit. Maybe I can focus my bone rings on that or something like that, right? Maybe that's enough. So for the most part, it's been a big testing period. Still enjoying the content, of course, and going through it. But I really am tired of the extreme inconvenience of resurrecting a zombie mid-map. Because I'm a mana user. Not like for skills per se, but I'm always min-maxing to the umpteenth degree the amount of mana I'm reserving, right? To me, that's what it's for. I'm a minion player, so unless I'm doing SRS, I am using all that mana possible. The only reason I would have any that's unused is, for example, like my Righteous Fire character uses a lot of cast and damage taken stuff, and I got to make sure that I have that mana and the mana regen coming back for that because it costs so much. Outside of that, because I'm not a caster, I'm a minion player, I'm always using up as much as I can. So I never have the mana left. Zombies cost a lot, and yes, they reduce the mana cost of zombies quite substantially. This league or last league, I forget which one it was, but I never have the mana left over when I have my build going to be able to resurrect a zombie. So then I have to take it off. But I never have Desecrate as a open skill. It's always locked behind a trigger skill like cast and damage taken. So for me to resurrect my zombies, I don't have the mana for it. So now I got to go into my hideout, and then I got to unsock a cast and damage take, and then I got to cast Desecrate, and then I got to raise my zombies, and then I got to put cast and damage taken back on the gem, and then I got
need the zombies.
Well, for when I'm doing a zombie build, not with the Reaper build, but when I'm doing a zombie build. No, that's my mistake. So, but I'm so annoyed with that. I've been playing zombies since long before 3.0 for everything, and I'm just so tired of the corpse requirement. And my biggest turn on to the Reaper, well, is 2 things. I've mentioned that I hate, like for me, zombies need specters to do decent damage. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that. And so the Reaper is sexy to me in that way because you can't do specters with the Reaper. It can randomly take one of your Reapers, and then it's an inconvenience, and that inconsistency of, oh shoot, where did that perk go? Oh, I got to go find that. Like, you're not going to do that in the middle of a boss fight. So I love the stress freeness of the lack of specters when it comes to the Reaper. But I also really like that it's a permanent minion like zombies, but it casts like skeletons. Skeletons don't need a corpse. I just cast it, and there they are. And that's what the Reaper does too. And so those 2 things, and I love that there's that added benefit of you being engaged and like telling the Reaper where to go for bonus damage. Like I like that, but that's completely secondary. Those 2 favorite things I love are the lack of corpse resurrecting and the lack of need for specters. So my overall goal is to be just as satisfied with clear speed and boss damage with the Reaper that I would be with zombies. And if I can do that, then that's really what my whole goal is this league. So I really want to knuckle down and give myself maybe, hopefully, 2 sessions, 2 evenings a week. Oh man, 3 would be a dream come true. But of playing rock solid, and I'm just as into PC as I am into console, because I don't have the time or the resources to respec one build back and forth and check things out. So I have the fully invested life survivability on console, and then I have the no survivability on PC, and I'm enjoying going back and forth, but I haven't made up my mind yet. I'm confused like mad. So theory crafting's out because I have nothing to theory craft around because I haven't made up my mind yet. So that's what I was doing earlier on. On PC, I got one of those memories. I got a Nico memory.
Fun.
Way too early. So here, this is my note. Okay. This is in quotes. I got a Nico memory in a T15, but it helped me level because I wasn't at T15s yet. I got that corrupted T15 from a gift card. So thanks Google for your excellent ability in translating my voice typing. I don't remember where I got the T15 from.
Okay.
Google wrote down gift card. Obviously, I didn't get a T15 from a gift card, so
Cheater.
I don't know if I like bought it from Keurig, but I wasn't.
Well, there
on
was some issues early
yet.
on with higher tier maps that were dropping when they shouldn't have been. There was a fix for that.
I don't think it was a drop. I think I got it from Keurig, or maybe it did come from a drop. I don't know, but either way, I got a memory. It was
Cool.
T15, and it actually unlocked all the maps for me except for the one that I started
awesome.
on. So that was nice. It was nice to actually have it useful. I gave GGG a suggestion. I gave them two, but I only remembered to write one in here. I was asking if it was possible for them to design filters to be able to read character inventory or stash inventory. I think it would be really cool if you didn't have to hide scrolls of wisdom at a certain stage. It would be really cool if your filter, you're able to put in a little code into one of the blocks for, say, scrolls of wisdom, where once your character had a full stack of scrolls of wisdom, they wouldn't show up anymore. The filter would automatically hide
maybe
them.
Or are you talking about in your character itself or the
40.
stash?
Yeah, like no. So the character is what you carry around in maps, and then the stash tab. So if you had 40 in your character tab, you'd have the option of having this code in there where it would automatically hide them as long as you had 40 scrolls of wisdom. Or maybe you could set a number if you had one of the paid stash tabs. It would be like, okay, as soon as you have 200, I mean, for me, it'd be 5,000, but like as soon as you have a full stash tab or as soon as you have 200, whatever the number is that you set. So I thought it'd be really cool if they could create that technology or have that available for PoE 2 or something where no matter what it was, I'm obviously thinking scrolls of wisdom, but you can do that with any type of currency. I thought that would be really neat, right? Because to me, you can never have it too many alterations, but there's absolutely no point to me in having more than one stack of portal scrolls. And then that way you don't actually have to have multiple filters that have things more and more strict, or you only get portal scrolls in white or in white maps, whatever it is. So I just thought that would be neat. Somebody responded with, not on this one. I posted it on both GGG's website and Reddit, but somebody responded with Neversink is planning on doing that. That's part of his roadmap of trying to do that. Don't know how he could do that because filter's a filter, but my post was for GGG so that anybody could do it, not just Neversink people.
Cool idea. I don't see them ever doing it, but it is a cool idea.
Yeah. And let's see. So I was just chit-chatting with... I forget who it was, and I forget even how the conversation came up, but I was on Discord, and Georgia and Thalon helped me out they helped me discover this, and then they helped confirm it, just because I was a little suspicious, because I'd never heard of it before. But I didn't know, and I've been a minion player since the dawn of time for me, but damage over time kills from non-character sources, like minions, but totems and all this, they count as on-kill effects for the owner of the totem or minion.
Oh,
I didn't know that. I always thought that if a minion did the kill, the minion got the kill, right?
Because it's a damage over time. Is that supposed to work
right?
that way?
So because it's not a hit, because it's a damage over time, it doesn't count towards the minion, even though it was the minion's dot. It counts towards the character that created that minion or totem or mine or whatever. Now, I didn't know that, but it's right on the wiki. And it says right after that on the wiki, it says, this is a limitation of the game and not an intended game mechanic. So for me, I'm the kind of person where when I read that, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not going to plan around that because they could fix that at any time. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of thing. But now it's been, I think that note has been there since 2021. So who knows and that's under the damage over time part page of the wiki. But I don't know if I'd read that or not, or if I just blocked it away because I wasn't going to plan around it. But it was something that I completely forgot. And now that it's been there for so long, it's definitely something that's probably going to last until PoE 2. So anyway, that was just something neat that I noticed. Damage over time kills. So that then you could start doing, like, if you cared more about the mapping experience and the bossing experience, you could do some on-kill effects, or there's some pretty cool things. George and Thalon were talking to me about a couple unique combinations where when you get these on-kill effects from dots, certain things happen to you, and so it's cool for some survivability combinations. And so anyway, I thought that was kind of neat. I never knew that, and I mean, even you just playing as a totem player, I mean, your build's based on hit, it's damage, not dot, but there's so many dot options out there now. So
I wonder if that's why
think they
Poison
specified
SRS is so popular. Like, is there something being used with that?
I just think it's because they are such a nice ranged poison. Like
Yeah,
I remember
poison versus
trying
elemental?
Poison's SRS, and this is going to sound cheesy, but I was trying Poison SRS before it was cool with an occultist a few leagues ago. Absolutely loved it. I was very surprised, and I wasn't using any uniques, so I wasn't getting more than the poison chance support was giving the minions. I think that's 60%. So they didn't have more of a poison chance than that. I never got anything that helped improve that, and the amount of damage they got, I just stacked the chaos damage. I didn't stack anything else. So, like add chaos damage, unbound ailments, chance to poison, something else and something else. I don't know. Anyway, and I was really surprised with how much damage it was. But because, anyway. So I don't know. I just assume it's just the functionality of SRS that makes them that strong.
Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, but no, those are some of the things that I found out with my relatively slow week outside of the testing that I was doing the week before. And I'm really excited to keep going. Very excited. Because
I'm excited to play this week too.
Once I've decided what I'm going to do with Reaper, minion, or zombies or whatever, I got plans. Got plans, J-Dog. It's gonna be rad.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
Super excited.
Yep.
All right, sweet. So let's wrap this up then. Episode 170. Forever Exiled. I'm Justin AK Tags.
And I'm Tyler Record of Days.
Patrons, we'll catch you in After Dark. We got a buddy hopefully joining us tonight, so that'll be fun to chat with him. Next week's 171. BK will be with us for episode 171. For more information, you can find it down below. We got a website, foreverexiled.com. We're on Twitter, foreverexiled82. We have a very fun Discord, which if you need to know about KitchenAids and other things, we gotcha. And Patrons and ways to support the podcast are down below. We love your faces. See ya.
Bye.